What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video on the E63 AMG. And the last video was the top 5 things I absolutely love about this car. Well, we got to play devil's advocate, and we got to do the top 5 things I absolutely loathe about this car, or hate, or dislike, whatever you want to call it. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. This list was really hard to make because I love this car. I absolutely love everything about this car. There's a few things that I don't like, which we'll talk about, but overall, this car is like a 9.5, 10 out of 10, I guess you could call it. I love it. It does everything I want it to do. It's very fast, it's very comfortable, and it looks amazing, especially with how everything's set up on the car. But there are a few things we got to talk about, so let's just go ahead and hop in it. Now, to start this list off, the first thing is this steering wheel right here. Now, first things first, I am not a fan of Alcantara steering wheels. And yes, I know some of you will be like, but didn't you just install a E63 performance steering wheel on your 211-55? Yes, I sure did. And it does have Alcantara. And it is destroyed like this. But that doesn't matter because I'm going to redo that steering wheel. But what I'm trying to say is, from factory, don't option steering wheels in Alcantara, especially the places that you most likely hold the wheel if you're driving like this, or, you know, unless you're Eastern European, Bulgarian like me, and you're cruising, you know, the seats all the way lean back and you're like this the whole time. Most people drive like this. So the steering wheel gets destroyed. It absolutely gets obliterated because the oils in our hands don't mix well with the Alcantara. And if you don't clean the Alcantara, which this car has probably never been cleaned, it becomes this, and this is disgusting. Now, if you're driving a Porsche GT3 RS, or a GT3, or a Ferrari 48 Pista, or a Lamborghini Huracan STO, a car basically that you don't drive every day and you use it for the track and things like that, sure, get an Alcantara steering wheel. They're great for, you know, great gripping steering wheels for the track and everything, but not for every day. Do not get an Alcantara steering wheel for everyday use. Unless you drive your car with gloves, don't do it. Because this happens, and it's disgusting, and it looks terrible. And it looks like this car has 150,000 miles when it only has 50,000 miles. So, that is a gripe that I absolutely loathe about it. It's really not the car's fault, personally. It's the owner's fault for not cleaning it and for choosing the steering wheel. But Mercedes is also at fault for offering it on the car. So, yeah, let's move on to the second thing. Now, the second thing on my list is some of the interior materials. And when I say some of the interior materials, I really only mean this, which is this black plastic. I guess you could call it piano black plastic, which looks fantastic, but it doesn't look fantastic when you touch it like this and your fingerprints are all over it. And it's got scratches all over because keys have been on it, water bottles or whatever. And experts have spilled coffee here, so now these buttons are all kind of sticky and whatnot. But this is my biggest issue with the interior on the car. Or not my biggest issue. My biggest issue, we'll get to number 3, but this is one of them. Because it also kind of, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it kind of creaks. Not bad. It's not as bad as the new EQ sedans, but it does kind of creak just a little bit, and it's kind of annoying. I do like the ambient lighting around that goes around it the whole time. It looks awesome at night, but I just kind of wish that this wasn't as easy. Maybe make it like a matte black. That might look nice because then it won't leave fingerprints and everything. The glossy is just, it's whatever. I mean, you guys can clearly tell I'm trying to find anything that I don't like about it because it's hard to find stuff I don't like about this car. But that's one thing. And I mean, if you option the carbon fiber pack, this is carbon fiber, which looks really nice, and it doesn't, you know, leave fingerprints or scratches much, which is nice. But my car doesn't have that. My car has the aluminum brush finish, which gives you this. I mean, at least make this maybe aluminum brush like this. Might look kind of nice. I don't know, whatever. I'm probably going to swap this out for a carbon fiber one if I can find one that isn't being sold by some Eastern European guy for $2,000 on eBay. Yeah, I've been trying to find a full carbon fiber interior set for this thing, and it's ridiculous. So, not going to do that anytime soon. There's more important things like downpipes. But let's move on to the next thing. Now, for the third thing on my list is this, the headliner, which is absolutely atrocious in my opinion in this car. Now, hear me out with what I'm talking about. I have a 2004 E55 AMG. You guys know it, the blue one. It's the biggest pain in my rear end that I've ever had and will ever have because it's costing me money and I'm going bankrupt because of that car. But I love the car. But one thing Mercedes really did right with that thing is it has an Alcantara headliner. Now, I just said I don't like Alcantara steering wheels. Well, you're not touching the headliner 24/7 or the whole time you're in the car, so that's fine. And I really like it. It makes the interior feel so much higher up and classy. You can get an Alcantara headliner in this car for $2,000. Are they serious? Are they serious? I mean, this is blatant just cash grab. That's exactly what this is. Why would you not offer a Alcantara headliner in a car that costs $130,000 new? Are you insane, Mercedes? Come on. What are you doing? My 2004 E55, which was the cheapest supercharged car in 2004 Mercedes' lineup, has an Alcantara headliner, just like an S-Class, and a CL, and an SL. But no, you can't do it in this car because it's just an E-Class, and you want people to pay $2,000. That is just, it's terrible. That is terrible business, especially for people that have owned the older AMGs, because we expect something. Now, the interior is not bad. It's a beautiful interior, leather stitching everywhere, ambient lighting, and screens and everything. It's awesome. Watch my top 5 video. But my biggest blatant issue with this car is this headliner when it comes to the interior. I absolutely despise Mercedes for doing that. This just feels like a regular E300 headliner because that's exactly what it is. Shame on you, Mercedes. Shame on you guys. But let's move on to the fourth thing. Now, for the fourth thing on my list, it's going to be this. And I'm not talking about the wheel, nor am I talking about the tire. I'm talking about the brake dust that this car leaves. This thing has huge rotors on the front and the rear. These are drilled and slotted rotors. I'll put it here how big they are. And it is insane the amount of brake dust. I just cleaned the car 2 days ago. Well, and to be fair, it did kind of rain a little bit, but whatever. But look at the wheel. It's covered in brake dust. I mean, I don't know if you guys could see that, but my finger is covered in brake dust now, which is disgusting. But it's crazy, and I get it. I get it. These are high-performance brakes, and they leave a lot of dust, but I think I'm going to upgrade these to, I've heard EBC Blues or EBC Reds tend to not leave as much brake dust, so we're going to be probably upgrading, because I got to do brakes on this thing anyways. It's got 50,000 miles. I doubt anyone's ever done them, so I'm going to have to do those soon, I believe. They're fine. They've got plenty of tread left, but I just want to do it just because, you know, I'm kind of, you know, when it comes to this car. But that's the fourth thing on this list, which is really minute. It is not really even it's a first world problem, for being honest here. The car's fine even with it. But let's move on to the final thing. Now, for the final thing on this list, no, it's not the engine. I absolutely love the M177. It's a really weird detail. It's actually the way the transmission acts when the car's cold in the morning. So the car actually has a really weird thing where when it's cold, it's really jittery and really kind of stuttery. It jumps in a little bit. It doesn't kick or anything, but it's just really sensitive. Now, when the car warms up, it drives great. You don't feel it shift or anything. It's awesome. Just when it's cold, and this is a common thing on these 722.9 multi-clutch transmissions. It's all over the internet. People are like, oh, it's the intake. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. It's not the intake, because I changed the intakes and it still kind of does it in the morning. So it's definitely the way the transmission is programmed or tuned. I mean, it is a dual clutch transmission, or it's not a dual clutch, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. It's one of those transmissions where it's high performance, so when it's warmed up and it, you know, you're beating on it, it shifts great, it drives great. But when it's cold and when you're driving it normally in the morning, you really got to let this thing warm up before you really start to try to kind of get on it, because it is really jittery and it's really skittish at first. So yeah, that's the last thing. Like I said, it's very hard for me to find things I really hate about this car, because these aren't even things I hate. They're just things that are whatever with the car. I don't really care, except for the headliner. I hate the headliner, but otherwise, the car is amazing. I love this thing. It's awesome. You guys have seen the videos, and there's going to be more videos coming. I'm super excited to keep bringing content on this car, but let's close this video out. Well, that's the top 5 things I don't like about the E63. Let me know down below what you guys think. Is it a good list? Is it a terrible list? Is it something you completely disagree with? Because there could be. I mean, you know, everybody's got their own opinions. Everyone's got their own perspective on things, but let me know what you guys think, and thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Make sure you like, subscribe, and make sure you stick around, because we're definitely doing more videos on this car and the E55, which I have not sold. People seem to think I've sold the E55. I haven't. I still have it. That car will never go anywhere. But thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.